Contempt. John 8, 1 through 11. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn, he appeared again in the temple courts where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone women. Now, what do you say?" They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and he said to them, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first one to throw a stone at her." Again, he stooped down and he wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard began to go away, one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, with the woman still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, sir," she said. "Then neither do I condemn you." Jesus declared, "Go now and leave your life of sin." This is a very, very profound example. Contempt is the feeling of disdain for anything considered disgusting, vile, or worthless. When you're contemptuous, you're showing somebody how much you despise them. You treat them as if they are inferior and worthless, and as a result, you dishonor them. If a relationship is not built on mutual respect and dignity, regardless of the person's actions, it isn't going to be healthy. I wish I could say that intimate relationships didn't have contempt, but the reality is that our closest relationships are often the ones in which we are the most contemptuous. And this is because these people that are close to us, that affect us, have the ability to evoke incredibly strong emotions in us because their actions directly affect us. Contempt destroys relationship. A relationship needs to be built on mutual dignity and respect. When you're contemptuous, you're projecting an attitude of superiority onto the person, as if you are better than them, and that means you forfeit the opportunity to work with them, to improve themselves, and to improve the relationship from a platform of respect for each person's individuality. Sometimes we're contemptuous in an attempt to get somebody to make different choices. We push them hard, we say things to them that are meant to get them to improve themselves, but in reality, we're ripping apart, tearing them down, looking at them as if they're incapable and incompetent and treating them that way. Every person is worthy of God's love. Every person, no matter what they're doing. Jesus died for each of us while we were all still sinners. No one deserves contempt. Think about what Jesus did with the woman who came to him, that was brought to him in the act of adultery. He treated her with respect and dignity, and then he spoke directly to her and he asked her to make a different choice. Whose actions with that woman would have resulted in her wanting to change and feeling as if she were capable of change? The Pharisees and those that brought her to Jesus and said, "Look how disgusting and worthless she is," full of contempt for her, saying she was caught in adultery and she deserved to die, or Jesus's handling of her, where he spoke to her with love and kindness and respect and dignity, and spoke to her directly in her sin and just said, "Please make a different choice." His communication to her was not only, "Please make a different choice," but "I know you can make a different choice because you're worth it." We do not need to treat those that we are in close relationship with contempt. We need to learn how to treat them with mutual respect and dignity.